Welcome back. It's time for another daydream here with Justice A Deux. Probably pronouncing that completely wrongly. Like it feels like there's a pun there.
3 days after the SSS successfully liberated Crossbell,
Oh, there's Bosco.
I found myself being the first of my old classmates to see the city in all its newfound freedom.
There's no one.
Excuse me, but would you two be Commander Sonia Bells and Vice Commissioner Pierre?
That's correct. Inspector Regnitz, yes? We've been expecting you.
Quite an entourage.
It's a pleasure to meet you both.
We've come on behalf of the Government Accountability Inspectorate. I hope we can count on your cooperation during our visit.
I mean, they'd be more than happy to. Well, one of them would be.
Ordinarily, the withdrawal of all Erebonian troops and weaponry from Crossbell should have happened immediately after the war. The IDF's occupation had caused a delay, but now it could finally be executed, and overseeing it was our mission. This critical assignment came directly from my father, a task closely linked with Crossbell's independence to boot. Veteran inspectors in Rhineford were entrusted with watching over Tangram Fortress and the local military factory, while I was assigned to the city itself, and my primary focus would be the tower the defense force had occupied.
Oh yeah, the window.
The SSS only knows how to do it big, don't they? Can't believe they pulled this off. I heard Yuna's still out of school to help them in dealing with the aftermath.
Thank you. I think we have a better handle on what happened here now. So after the SSS charged in...
I sensed someone else with green hair. Green hair? Green hair.
I remember him from the files related to the SSS. First Division, I think. What was his name again? Never mind. I need to focus on work. Off to the 36th floor, then.
It was quite the gargantuan task for Machias to inspect the inside of Orcus Tower, reviewing each shard of broken glass or overturned vase. It's pronounced vase. Wait, what? But while working hand in hand with the local police and CGF, he set out to ensure that no offense caused by the IDF would go unnoticed. The work was exhausting, mentally and physically. Days in, he was still on the clock long after burning the midnight oil. This left no time to go out for drinks with fellow colleagues. It was just him and his work. He could feel the fatigue start to eat away at him. Thankfully, there was a local cafe that had become a small haven for his weary soul. Oh no. Ugh!
Thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials.
It's just dark, bitter water.
Thank you.
Sip.
There's no better morning ritual than one that starts with a good cup of coffee.
I'm gonna have to have words with Bosco, because he uttered this line.
Now I can start work with my best foot forward.
Hey, check out the Imperial.
Oh yeah, a pal of mine in the tower was telling me about having to work with that guy.
And? Triple dot.
Thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials.
Much obliged.
Ugh. Sip.
Nothing like that first cup of the day.
Maybe you should try tea. Much better for you. Ugh. He was determined to do his job well, for the SSS who fought by his side during the twilight, for all of his friends doing what they could back in the Empire, and for his father, who believed he could handle such an important task. Little did he know, however, that his hard-earned day off several days later would be spent around his beloved brew. Oh no, is this entire daydream gonna be about... Hey!
You're all out of dark roast?
Good.
I'm so sorry, sir. I know it's your go-to coffee.
Maybe you'll have to just, try a better beverage, like tea.
Ours is ground with beans imported straight from Orid. But I'm afraid something's happened that's made it impossible to get back in stock. The owner was saying something about crime being afoot.
Wait, what crime is being committed?
I mean, it's only coffee. Does anybody mind?
Oh, sorry, sir. Listen to me go on.
Not at all. In fact, do go on.
Detective. Well, what he said. Our morning's just not the same without your coffee. If you don't mind, could you let us speak to the owner of this establishment?
It's gonna be about coffee. Daydream, justice adieu. Yeah, that kind of thing seems to be happening a lot lately. We got a number of queries about missing parcels, deliveries to the wrong addresses, and the like. My hunch is that trade resuming just plain has companies in chaos. I sure hope things will calm down soon. Indeed. Thank you for your cooperation. I'd had a hunch after hearing what the cafe owner had to say, but wow. This runs deeper than it rightly should. It also matches up with several reports the police have received. Several communication and delivery mishaps in the confusion just after Crossbell's liberation were eventually traced to imported goods and sundries disappearing in transit. Right, and there are too many cases for it all to be mere coincidence, so this could be affecting the tea deliveries as well. Oh no! If the staff testimonials are anything to go by, it's not just restaurants either. Any business could fall victim. Yes, any business, and we know there is a supply of black tea around, so that could be in jeopardy. We need to get to the bottom of this, for the tea. And all in a way so that they don't even notice there's a pattern. Quite the underhanded operation. Are there multiple perps, or is someone acting alone? What could their MO be? We need to gather information. I think that would have actually been an interesting way of doing this. To be honest. Imagine, say for instance, Eustace was here, and Eustace likes his tea sort of thing. And it's someone who drinks coffee and someone who drinks tea coming together being like, no, we unite in order for our lovely beverages. It'd be funny. It'd be funny. It occurs to me now that this is rather late, but I was sent from the Empire on work-related business at Orcus Tower just last week. My name is... Your Inspector Macius Regnitz, I know. Alex Studley, of the CPD's 1st Investigative Division. So you knew who I was this whole time. From reports related to the SSS, I'm guessing. The 1st Division deals in foreign affairs as well, so naturally I'd know about you. Your father being Representative Regnitz and you being a member of Class 7 puts you on our radar more than any report. Right, I'm sure. Don't let me knowing that freeze you up on me. For the first time in quite a while, I'm not on the clock, but I'm not about to sit back while my coffee is in danger. And also the tea as well is a potential, We'll have no shortage of ordeals to face in the days to come. And I won't let that be marred by the loss of one of my life's simple pleasures. Ugh. Oh. So, Inspector Regnitz, might I request your cooperation with my independent investigation? I realize this is out of our respective jurisdictions, but I hope you might say yes. As a fellow coffee lover. Of course, I'd be happy to assist. Ugh. Thus, the two formed an unusual bond and opened up an investigation for their beloved bitter beans. Their first stop was inside the department store, where Macias questioned his old friend Patiri. It would have been nice to see that interaction. Ah, Hayworth. The reputable trader, Harold Hayworth, was next on the list, and he suggested that they visit each district to interview the city's merchants. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Use that route all the time myself. Lucky for me, I was sure to move some things around ahead of time, so we're not hurting stock-wise. I'm thinking whoever's behind it's either green as grass in the underworld, or they straight have no fear of death, or both. What makes you think that? I don't mind answering, but it's going to cost you. Though I think I can afford to give you a friendly discount, Detective. Huh. I would have thought he'd have a bigger problem with her line of work. She's a good informant, though. So that's about everything we could figure out. And this is doing a lot more harm to the locals than I ever would have realized. This is an incredible help, so thank you. The junior SSS is everything I'd hoped for and more. Good. With all the SSS does for us, we're always down to cover for them. Ask us for help whenever you need it. I certainly will. I'm sure I'll be back at some point. He's quicker to think on his feet than I gave him credit for. I wonder why I didn't see this side of you coming. I just hadn't pegged you as the type to have connections to Nine Valley or Back Alley Bar. Any detective worth his salt knows there are valuable clues to be delivered from the underground. I suppose I'm not the only one who's had his expectations flipped, then. Your file read like you'd be more resistant to going off book. Thought you'd be more straight-laced. Don't take this the wrong way, but that applies more to you than to me. I've still got a ways to go. Crossbell's independence is at stake. I can't afford to let my inexperience as an inspector be what screws it up. I don't think... Now where's the next bar? Ha ha! Whoa there, sir. Oh, sorry about it. Not at all. I should have stepped out of the way. If I recall, this guy works in general affairs at Orcus Tower. Those guys. I remember you, that spare from the Empire. Sure that I left the joke or the paper, or you're a hell of a hard worker. I guess it's easy for the bear to finish what a bear started, huh? That isn't how I would put it. You know, I've been hearing lots of stories about Fro picking up here again. Hey, keep that up, they might start calling this place the City of Sin the way they did before the SSS cleaned the place up. That's your bastard's fault. You just come and start tearing down everything we built. Hey, that's enough. I understand lips are loose when drunk, but any more out of that mouth and it'll be interfering with official business. Huh? I've seen you around too. What are you doing, you moron? Stop heckling random people on the street. Sorry about him, he gets like this when he drinks too much. Detective Dudley and Inspector Regnitz. Oh, hideous, I'm so sorry if my friend said anything rude. I think he's just been doing too much overtime since the liberation. Come on, man, let's go. I know it's our day off, but you drank way too much, I tell you. If you could stay for just another minute. Your friend here mentioned something about fraud being on the rise. Would you happen to know anything about that? We're in the middle of an investigation, so anything at all you could share with us would be greatly appreciated. I think I might. There's been this suspicious merchant who's been selling knockoffs of brand name goods. Retailers around here have been getting inquiries from customers on them. We were thinking of giving a heads up to the police about this, so your timing is perfect. Would you like the names of the stores that were notified? That'd be great, thank you. After their new lead from an unexpected source, they went right to visiting the stores specified. They were more than happy to give obvious tells for the knockoffs. The similarities between each account were almost astounding. Then, with plenty of new information in hand, they agreed to find a place to sift through their findings while resting their feet. And there was no better spot for a sit-down than the certain bakery on West Street. Ah, morgues. We've managed to collect a fair bit of information. Indeed. Such as how the victims up to this point have dealt in import brands and foodstuffs. Brands like the Quincy Company and Strager Corporation are among them. Wherever these are sold, a merchant has appeared to offer the exact same products for a much lower price. These alternatives, however, are inferior knockoffs. By the time this is discovered, the merchant has already disappeared. I think there's a connection here. Almost undoubtedly, it ties into our current case. So fraud and counterfeit goods, Triple dot. If you're still worried about what that man said earlier, you shouldn't be. Being Erebonian does not mean you have to shoulder the responsibilities of your entire country. Easier said than done, though. Thank you, I appreciate it. But to me, he represents the majority of Crossbell's people. What, drunk? Bit harsh, Macias. It makes me feel like I can't do anything to make them feel better. As an Imperial citizen, and as an inspector. I see. You really are so much like me in my younger years. How so? Green hair? Drinks that vile liquid? Pretty much the same. You're deeply serious with a strong sense of justice that makes you want to live up to the expectations placed upon you. But now, suddenly, all that pressure has become so immense that it's suffocating you. Is that it? I don't know. No. You might be right. With the Chancellor now gone, the Empire is racing toward a new era. And amidst all this, my dad is now the representative Chancellor of the entire country. The first step we need to take for this new era is to restore and stabilize our relationship with Crossbell. I believe he's expecting of me the kind of inspection results that will work to that end. And yet here I am, with my hands full with just the stuff immediately right in front of me. I can't help but hate how much of a good-for-nothing guy I am. Ugh. I hope you won't mind me countering this, but I think you should be more confident in yourself, Macias. You chose the thorn-filled path of being an inspector despite how difficult it was going to be. And against your younger age, you've been entrusted with the most important aftermath of restorations after the war. These more than prove you're qualified. And it means you absolutely can live up to the expectations your dad has of you. I don't know, your logic seems a bit flawed there. I can see where you're coming from, but still seems a bit flawed. I get panicked when I don't produce results quickly enough. But is a brew not truly at its most divine when the beans have been roasted longer? Ugh. I'm sure you understand what I mean as a fellow lover of coffee. Yeah. You're right, I think I've been trying to rush my progress so much that it's only made things worse instead. Maybe it'll take a bit longer to produce results, but better to take it slow and steady than run myself into the ground. That's the way. Hello, Pete. Hello, Detective. And to you, too, Inspector. I don't know if I've ever seen you two in the same place before. If I recall, you're from that former law office, aren't you? I asked if you'd be willing to cooperate with an investigation of mine. We're just taking a short break. What investigation, if I may ask? Is it about the dealer of counterfeit goods? How do you know about that, Pete? Been keeping up with the times, have you? No, that's a store. Come on. Yeah, Grace has been all over it. I've got to thinking about how the SSS once worked a similar case. So I was going through some old leads and... Similar case? What? Would you mind showing us those leads? If we can get our hands on some evidence, I might be able to get the First Division to make an arrest. Oh, I don't mind at all. You've done so much for me in the past, Detective. How could I say no? Oh, but keep it a secret from Grace. If she finds out, she might end up forcing her way to a front seat on your investigation. Yeah, that would be trouble. I can picture it now. We'll keep that in mind. A few hours later, I've got a worrying suspicion as to who might be behind all this. I really hit the jackpot this time, haven't I? Crossbell never fails to disappoint me. Well, save for a few sour moments. I couldn't be happier about our business arrangements myself. It's much easier to get things done this way. That's my line. I hope we can continue this most profitable of relationships. If Crossbell regains its independence, then it may become much easier to do business than it was under Imperial rule. I'd welcome the return of a prime hunting ground for folks like us. The joke's on you. What's this? And who might you two be? Well, if it isn't Minnith, yep. The conman and infamous counterfeit dealer from Calvert. So you're the small fry that used to cause so much trouble in Crossbell. What? Know who I am, do you? So my past is coming back to haunt me. I never should have allowed that cursed special support section to catch me. Files the CPD has on you from last time came in handy. We know everything you've been up to. Surrender peacefully. So this is because of that pesky SSS, is it? In that case, what perfect timing. I've been looking for a chance to express my gratitude for all they did for me. She's completely flipped the switch. She'll wake up the whole city at this rate. I've had my run-ins with the SSS as well. If you're friends of theirs, then this is an excellent opportunity to relieve some stress. It's time to get to work. We'll use sheer force to bring you pests to your knees. Get out here, you luckies! Teach these four-eyed lettuce heads a lesson. Lettuce heads? Oh dear. And where are they? Well then, no one's coming. Where the hell are they? Oh dear. Is that them? How did the cops find out about the meeting spot? Damn it. This is why I hate working with crooks that always get caught. Was that directed at me? I told you we're 2 steps ahead of you. The entire department will be here soon. I hope you don't think you can get away. Aren't we clever? All we have to do is break past you and we can run this racket over and over again. And if you won't step aside, then we'll force you out of our way. Get him! Oh, Is it going to be a battle? Have it your way. We're more than prepared to respond. I'm counting on you, Inspector Regnitz. Of course. You failed your inspection! Oh, we don't actually get the battle? Seemed like the prime opportunity to do so. And then there were two. Ah, those worthless idiots. What a truly tragic end. He's got a shooter! For you. Really isn't. I remember it was like, better call an ambulance. But not for me. As if I'd give up so easily. Okay. It's all over for you. I still have one weapon left. Fist of Justice. What are you, like, dodging bullets? Like, what's going on here? Gwar! Now do you get it? This is the Iron Hammer of Justice. Fist of Justice made more sense, but okay. She's got a boat. Ha! Eat my dust, you bastards! Dust? You're in a boat. I'll always have a place to escape, so long as there's a horizon to reach. What the? Why won't the engines start? I tried to tell you. Of course we already discovered your getaway plan. So we got out ahead of you and cut the engine. You're welcome to try swimming away from here, though. How could you? Well, Miss Counterfeit Dealer, Minnith, you've escaped justice in the past due to your status as foreigners, but that ends today. Crossbell and its laws are evolving. Oh dear. I'll put in a good word for you to see to it that you get tried here. Best of luck. Is this really how it ends? Our plan was perfect. How could this happen?
Suspects apprehended, 0210 hours.
Middle of the morning. What about the dogs? They were just still over there. Anyway, and so the counterfeit dealer and swindler that had caused a stir in Crossbell were finally caught. The supply routes they had impeded soon returned to normal as the investigation progressed. Ah, so the tea is coming back. Good. It was shortly after when Macias heard that the cafe had restocked his favorite coffee, inspiring him to drop by the next day before work. Dog bit of water.
Sorry, thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials.
Disgusting.
Boy, I think my jaw about hit the floor when I heard the case had been solved. Thanks to you two, it barely put a dent in business. We owe you one. So, the owner said it's on the house today.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Sip. Sip. At the same table, yeah.
Ah, it's dark roast or nothing in the morning.
I love the way you can feel it coursing through your body from the first sip. Can't start my day without it.
I feel sick.
And speaking of, I have something I'd like to share with you a little later. Are you free for lunch? I know a place with food that goes spectacular with any brew.
Absolutely, I'm free.
Oh dear, oh dear. I don't feel well. Daydream. Just two. Not my most favorite daydream, let's put it like that. Nope. Nope. Ugh. I can't stand coffee. Horrible drink, horrible drink. Obviously, I have to remind you that my vitriol towards coffee is just exaggerated. It's just my actual proper opinion. I want to like just separate this out because there's still people out there that think I'm deadly serious about that. When it's like, no, no, it's a joke. I'm playing it up for laughs. It's a joke. My actual opinion on coffee is I don't like it. If you can have it if you want. I don't like it. For me, I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the bitterness. I'm very much a tea person. Simple as that. It's just everyone has their own personal tastes, and me, I don't like bitter stuff. I don't like bitter, and coffee just comes across as very bitter to me, and the smell reminds me of gravy. So it just seems like a very odd drink to me. And it's that simple thing. People have their own personal tastes, and I just like tea better. Simple as that. Don't get me started on pizza, because that'll start a whole other conversation. I don't like pizza. So anyway, we'll see you in the next part with The Fallen Prince. Ta-da for now.